Alright guys, this is Super Bushido, and today I'm going to teach you how to play League of Legends. We're going to start off. I'm not actually going to play an actual game, because with the practice tool that they've implemented, I will be able to explain and show off more features that I wouldn't be able to in-game. So, let's go ahead, get into this. So, this pretty much has like no effect on my game or in-game stats. So this is just kind of somewhere where you can practice whatever kind of character you want to play as. So today, since I have all of the characters unlocked, so today I'm going to teach you how to play my main for many years, Garen. So as you can see here, these are rune sets. Rune sets have different sorts of abilities, and they also amplify others. So we're going to go with the aptly named Garen one, which has Conqueror, Triumph, Legend, Tenacity, Coup de Grace, Demolish, and Second Wind. I'll teach you and tell you more of those when we actually get in-game, but for right now, we're just going to go ahead, let the game load, and hop right on in. So as you can see, you can pick whatever kind of skin you want. I'm just going to go with base Garen because that's my favorite, so here we go. So this would be, this is the loading screen, obviously, makes sense. The top would consist of your team, which would all be in blue, and the bottom would consist of the enemy team. So there's 5 champions on each side, and they all consist of 5 different roles. So there's a support, which obviously supports the team. There's the tank / top laner, which is who I'm playing as right now. I'm playing as tank. There's a mid laner, which can either be attack damage, or they can be ability power, which is like magic power. And then there is the jungler, which the jungler is a mix of both. He can also he's also meant to gank enemy lanes and support where he can. The bot lane also gets an attack damage carry, which is like your long ranged fighter that uses bows and arrows, could be guns, anything like that. So let's go ahead here. We're playing as Garen. So here are Garen's abilities. So wow, I'd never heard that before. Okay, so he said 30 seconds until minions spawn, which minions go all the way through each lane. They're consistent. That they can either push lanes, they also give you gold, and they can be used as a obvious source of income. And you can also use certain items in order to boost their effectiveness. So this is Garen. Garen's passive is Perseverance. I know it says like a whole bunch of stuff down here, but the simplest term you can put it in, to not confuse yourself, is as long as you haven't been struck by enemy damage, you will start to regen health over time. So basically, the fact of this game is when you go into your lane, you either fight the enemy, your enemy that you're facing, or you fight the minions. And depending on how much health you have left, you can press B, which recalls you. That brings you right back to where I'm standing. And that will fully heal you. It will allow you to buy items from the shop. This is the shop right here. And it will allow you to go back. However, doing this allows the enemy top lane to take more gold, and you won't be able to, damage them or push them away from hitting your minions. So, let's carry on with this. So, we're going to hit Garen's Q, Decisive Strike. And I'm going to buy a Doran's Shield, because Doran's Shield is a very good defensive starting item for tanks. Because it restores 6 health every 5 seconds. That's pretty nice. It also stacks with Garen's passive. Basic attacks deal an additional 5 physical damage to minions on hit. and you regain 20 health over 10 seconds after taking damage from an enemy champion, which can actually help. Now, that is a unique passive, so a unique passive means that it cannot stack. So if you get an item that has, say, unique 20% bonus critical damage, you can't buy like 5 of those and get 100% bonus critical damage, so you have 200% if you're playing a character who stacks with that kind of crit. I know I'm going off on a tangent here, but let's carry on with Garen. So if we get to mid lane here, top lane, you'll see that there are minions. And the only way that you can actually get gold is by killing the minion with a final hit. See, I got 21. However, every time I go up and hit him and it doesn't kill him, I still get the experience, but I don't get the gold. That's the main thing. And when you get gold and minion kills, obviously it allows you to go and buy more stuff. However, this is your, people call it creep score, CS, but it's actually minion kills. And you can see that by pressing tab, and it will be right here, right next to your kills, deaths, and assists. So, we're pushing top lane right now. All of my minions are forcing up. But see how if I walk in front of the minions, the tower targets me. Now, the tower also targets you if you attack an enemy champion under tower, which can result in a very quick and sad death. So let's kill a few of these minions, just get them out of the way. And Garen's Q is very good for farming, because you jump up, and you can also see the smack. The smack deals quite a bit of damage. It also pulls you out of any slows that you're being hit with. So when champion can hit you with, say, something that decreases movement speed by 55%. If you press Q, you immediately start to run, breaks you free of all of that, and you gain a movement speed boost, which allows you to get away. Garen's W is quite honestly my favorite. Every time you kill a unit, you gain 0.25 armor and magic resistance. So armor and magic resistance, armor stops any sort of physical attacks and or attacks that use attack damage, and magic resistance stops you from taking damage from abilities, i.e. the mid laner or a jungler that uses ability power. So Garen, if you play him effectively, can become a very unstoppable tank, and he's been like that for a very, very long time. And Garen's E is this. you spin in one big circle consistently, and it deals damage every... dealing over... I don't know the exact amount of times that it hits them, but it is a considerable amount of damage over time. So that can also stack with crit. That was just implemented a little while ago, so if you decide that you want to play Garen a little weird or play him kind of cool, you can actually build crit Garen, and that will be your saving grace. Now, your E ability hits multiple targets at once, so it's very good for clearing waves, especially like this kind of wave of enemy right here, as they're in the back line. So you come up, give them a good spin, deal lots of damage, and there you go. Put both of them. So you see these... Okay. You see these tiny little red amulets down here? That's one of my runes. And the health bar of the tower is up here. With this rune, I can deal considerable damage to the tower at the expense of having to wait next to the tower in order to do that. Okay, so I think I may have explained quite a bit of the basics of fighting in the top lane. A lot of the characters top lane use attack damage, which is obviously a tank's speciality to fight against. However, there are top laners that are very strong in regards to piercing armor, such as Garen's rival, Darius. Darius has a lot of armor pen abilities. And he also has an execute, which Garen does too. This is Garen's ultimate. So allow me to give myself 10,000 gold so I can actually make a nice build. So let's give myself one more level up. So I have my ultimate ability. So Garen's ultimate is Demacian Justice. This is by far one of my absolute favorite abilities. However, you cannot use it on an enemy minion or an enemy monster. Now, there are 2 monsters in this game, which are objectives that your team tries to fight over other than towers. So it's this right here. You just pan over to that. I mean, you can't really see it right now. But that is... See, I can actually teleport myself over there. Look at that. Let's shoot myself right over here. So, this is the dragon. This is an infernal dragon. The infernal dragon is the one of 6 that you actually really want to go against, because it increases ability power and attack damage. It makes you a lot stronger in team fights, which are fights of all 5 of the same enemies, or all 5 of the teammates fighting against all 5 of the enemies. And that allows you to obviously deal more damage. And if you win a fight down there, it's almost guaranteed to you. So let's go back. Let me add in a target dummy, because I believe I can do that. Yeah. So let's add in a little target dummy.
Fear is the first of many foes.
This is an enemy target dummy. I know it doesn't really, show off what an enemy character would really do in game, but it's a very good showing of what Garen's ultimate does. So Garen's ultimate, Demacian Justice, is a execute. So you will want to use Demacian Justice when this health bar is within range of, say, the 3rd bar. That's usually what I do, and that's how I judge how much health is left on him. So a very good Garen combo, if you're top lane and it comes to the point where you have to fight the enemy because he's not going to let you go, is first you will run up to him, press your W, press E so that you start to spin, and this will deal considerable damage to him. He'll start to possibly move back because it breaks armor. And once he starts to run, press Q so you gain a movement speed boost. Jump on him, and then say his health is down here. Hit him with the ultimate, and the man's dead. And that will give you 300 gold and some bonus gold if he had killed an enemy beforehand. So that concludes the basics of playing as Garen. However, I play Garen quite different than most people do. So let's say it's endgame. You have 10,000 gold. You've been buying items because you have to buy items to build into other ones. So as Garen, I usually run a Boots of Swiftness, sorry, because it's 55 movement speed, and movement slowing effects are reduced by 25%. That stacks with his Q. That also stacks with his W, which is wicked, because that means you can get out of literally anything. Another good thing to have for Garen is this item right here, Dead Man's Plate. So Dead Man's Plate gives you 425 health and 60 armor. While moving, you build stacks of momentum, increasing movement speed up to 60 to 100 stacks. So let's do that. So now we have a tail that follows us. Spirit Visage, which is another good item because it increases healing effects. Warmog's Armor, which has a passive ability to give you health once you've hit a certain threshold. And Randuin's Omen, that stops you from taking any sort of damage when it comes to crits. It's 20% damage taken from crits, from basic critical strike, so minus 20% damage. That's quite a lot. And Black Cleaver. Black Cleaver is a must. Black Cleaver is a must on almost any and all tanks, because not only does it give you extreme amount of cooldown reduction, which allows you to use abilities faster, it also reduces enemy armor alongside Garen's E. So a lot of items can build into other items, And a lot of items' passives build into your passives as a character. So you see how fast I am as Garen right now? That's because of my Boots of Swiftness and my Dead Man's Plate. If I hit Q, I'm even faster. And that's really hard for somebody to get away from. So let's clear those target dummies. Like, target dummy. So the minions down bot can move. So basically, the basis of the game is to destroy all of your enemies' turrets, like these ones here, and then the 2 Nexus turrets, and finally, the enemy's Nexus, which is this. The Nexus has no other defenses besides these 2 turrets, and also the enemy teammates. A lot of this can be achieved through team fighting, and a lot of pushing. Now, a lot of people will disagree with me in saying that, you know, team fights determine everything. But in all of my experience of playing this game, which is almost 7 years now, it very much is. Team fighting and warding, which if you press 4 will bring up this little menu. Warding gives you vision. So you see whenever Garen walks around, dark parts of the map light up. When you put down a ward, you see how that fruit was just there? If I put that there, I can see the fruits there now. However, this disappears to the enemy team, which is good, because that allows me to know if someone's coming to gank me in my lane. And it also allows me to know enemy movements, especially where they're going and probably where they're coming from. So, in simplest forms, that's pretty much it to get you started. League of Legends, it's very much a play to get the hang of, but it's always nice for somebody to be able to explain it to you in simple terms, right? So, for the most part, guys, that's pretty much it. This is Super Bushido, teaching you how to play Garen the most effective that I can. So hopefully this guide will allow you to shoot up past the stars and become as good as me one day. Alright. If I can exit out. Thanks, and we'll see you later.